This is Spartan 27.
Yo, what's up? This is Spartan27, and welcome to the Plastic Ones podcast, where I get to delve into some crazy things with collecting action figures and where you can find them and how to find them if you can't find them in stores. But before that, it's a story time because I gotta tell you how I even got into collecting action figures permanently without ripping their arms and legs off. Because as a little kid, you do things that you wish, oh man, that's crazy. So it all starts, the foundation is Legos. And why is Legos a thing? Well, because you can build things and they come with minifigures, Lego minifigures. So that's a whole thing. So I'm going to tell you a story of how my figure collecting adventures happened. And so it started off with Legos. And Legos was pretty much foundation of my childhood as well. And I had lots of fun with it and built all sorts of things. And I also tore apart all sorts of things with minifigs and not minifigs. I tried to keep those together as best as I could. But Lego sets were fun. And then at some point when I got a little bit older, my parents got me my first ever R2D2 4-inch Hasbro. That's right, I got the 4-inch R2D2 Hasbro, and it came with a bunch of figures like some Ewoks, Darth Vader, ATSTs, and also Darth Vader had like the arms with where he couldn't move them very much. So they were just kind of curved, sort of limited. So that was a whole entire thing and a half, and some more Ewoks, and some stormtroopers, and some droids, and then later, couple years later, well, during those couple years, I also got some more figures like Count Dooku, and Ahsoka Tano, and Padme, and a bunch of Clone Wars characters, and I also kept on losing parts too, because I would take them everywhere. Because as a little tiny kid, you're just like, I want to be that Star. I want to be Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader because he was cool looking, and so you just kind of lose things on the ground outside at recess, and then people would get into fights because they're like, I want to be Luke Skywalker, I want to be Darth Vader, and I was also still kind of collecting Legos, but I was also still collecting more figures too at the same time, and I would do crazy action scenes with them, and end up losing parts, and some of the parts would end up breaking too, so that was unfortunate, and so then finally, a while later, I kind of lost interest in them, and they had a tub full of them, and then it kind of lost. I kind of don't know what happened to that tub, and then things happened, and then like things fast forward to later, when I was like, oh shoot, what's that? I was cleaning up the garage, and I found this tub full of stuff. It was like Star Wars vehicles, and right next to it was a tub full of Star Wars figures that were 4 inches tall, and it didn't have any like the fancy Black Series or anything. It was just like the Hasbro early stuff. And then so I was checking those out, and I realized, man, a lot of these have no arms. Well, again, no hands. They had their arms and legs. Some of them had hands, but and I thought to myself, I don't remember being that rough with them. I thought I was pretty gentle with my figures, but I guess like none of them had paint apps missing or whatever, and none of them had those crazy. None of them had somehow some of the helmets would pop off, even though the stormtrooper helmets earlier didn't have anything underneath them. They just had like the black the ball thing because there was no actual human heads underneath it. They were just you just pop it off and there just be a ball underneath there. So that was a thing that I remember. If I remember, I'm like, oh, stormtroopers actually don't have human heads underneath. They're just a ball of blank nothingness. Is a circular thing the helmet goes on. So I was looking at it and I was like, man, if I could restart my figure collection, what is one thing that I wouldn't do? And the first thing that came to my mind was, well, I probably wouldn't take their hands off because I would pretend like I have lightsaber battles. And a lot of the Jedi in that tub didn't have lightsabers because I'd lose them. And so I think the only ones that had complete weapons were the Scout Trooper, which I don't know where that is right now at the moment. I don't think I have him anymore because that whole entire tub of figures, they kind of just disappeared. And so gone. They're absolutely gone. I don't know where they went. We moved houses and so they're just like, nope, bye. And so anyway, fast forward to 2019. when I was like, no, sorry, 2021. When I was like, man, I want to restart my figure collection. And so one of my friends, Serenity, I was telling them about restarting my figure collection because I got her something a year ago. It was a Harley Quinn on a skate. It was like the DC comic. Oh, not DC comic. It was like DC's Harley Quinn. And it was she was on skates, I believe. Yeah, it was either skates or rollerblades, one of the two. And I'm like, that looks really sick. I want to restart my. She kind of inspired me to restart my collection. So, the first ever Hasbro Black Series figure that I ever got in 2021 was. It was longer than that because they had the Mandalorian. I'm sorry. Okay, 2020. It was later. It was shortly after the Mandalorian came out. So I'm pretty sure that wasn't 2021. So it was more like just 2022, I guess. But the Mandalorian came out, and there was like figures and stuff like that. My dates are kind of mixed up, so I'm sorry if I'm showing that too. But the first ever collectibles figures, Hasbro Black Series 6-inch collectibles, was Mandalorian, and then I kind of bought some of my own. But the next figure after that was a Darth Vader, followed by one of the Inquisitors from Kenobi. That was like a year later. I don't know why it took a year gap from that. And then I just kept on getting more and more. It was crazy. Actually, the amounts I got some WWE Mattel figures along the line, which was last year, and I bought some over the summer, including the Hasbro's Luke Skywalker with the Return of the Jedi look, with part of his one piece bodysuit with a lightsaber. That was cool in his robotic hand. He actually comes with his right hands with the glove on top of it, kind of looks like Darth Vader's glove. That was a cool design, my favorite design. But I have over 36 now. And I'm like, whoa, this thing's come so far. Oh, and also alongside of collecting those figures, I've also collected the Amiibos from Nintendo. And I've also recently watched the prices go down because before, things like the Bowser and a bunch of other ones were like crazy prices. But I've heard recently that they are reprinting some of their ones that they kind of messed up on. So I've been collecting Amiibos alongside of Star Wars characters. Yippee! So yeah, well, join me for the next episode of the Plastic Ones, where I get to discuss to you guys what kind of stuff is out. You can find me on Instagram on the handle Spartan.27. My YouTube channel is Spartan27, SPARTAN, and then space number is 27. And I don't have any other accounts except for TikTok. I don't put much on there. Some random videos, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.